Hi, everybody, it's John. Welcome back to the Record Shelf, where we are reviewing the best albums of the 1970s and 80s. And we are in the middle of the great album by Led Zeppelin 4. It came out in 1971, and I believe Led Zeppelin's greatest album, if not one of their greatest albums. And almost every song on this album was a major influencer, a hit. Just an amazing collection of work by this amazing band. And we have been doing, we did the first few songs on the album, and now we're going to do the next two. And these are good ones. Going to California and When the Levee Breaks, which is my favorite song off this album. I love When the Levee Breaks, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But I just wanted to tell you that this album has been one of my favorites and favorites of most Zeppelin fans. And it came out as early as 1971, and they had a lot of work still ahead of them that came out that was also great. But this album, I think, from their early period was clearly their best. And this album is packed full of major hits. Now, the first song on this album is Going to California. And there's no drums on it, so John Bonham wasn't a part of this. This was just Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. And the bass player. My gosh, I have a brain fart right now. But anyway, John Bonham did not play drums on this, and they had retired. They had gone to this studio in the countryside where it kind of set the tone and the feeling for creating the songs in this album. And Going to California was basically a song inspired by Joni Mitchell at the time, a musician from that period, and her song California. So they got the idea from that song. And Joni Mitchell lived in California, in Laurel Canyon area of Los Angeles. And so California has her basically thinking about her adventures on a trip to Europe, looking forward to going back home. So in this song, Going to California, Robert Plant plays the part of a guy who's looking to leave his not-so-good girlfriend at home and make a fresh start in California. That's really what the song is about. And you can kind of tell by listening to the lyrics. It's not that opaque. You can really see. So Page and Plant were really enjoyed Joni Mitchell's songwriting, and then Going to California, this guy is trying to find a girl that he really wants, and what's the lyrics? Love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Well, don't forget, folks, it's 1971, and the Summer of Love and the whole thing with San Francisco was really fresh in everyone's memory. It just happened a year or two before this, and so this is clearly a reference to the whole flower children, and the song "Come to San Francisco," where people have flowers in their hair. This is all about that, and this is really a song about the Haight-Ashbury and the Summer of Love and all that stuff. This really is. It's an acoustic song with no drums, and it's one of the songs Zeppelin played at their concerts from 1971 to 77. And sometimes in the concerts, Plant would say the word Joni after the line. She plays guitar and cries and sings, because this was really dedicated to Joni Mitchell. All right, so we're going to listen to the next song on this album, which is Going to California, and I think you're going to like it. If you don't know it, this is a good one. So sit back and enjoy and just listen to the musicality of this song. All right, and here we go right now.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all my wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you that we're all the same. was red and the sky was gray. I wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today. The mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake. The children of the sun begin to wake. Watch out. It seems that the wrath of the gods got a punch on the nose and it started to flow. I think I might be sinking. Throw me a line if I reach it in time. I'll meet you up there and the path runs straight and high. Find a queen without a king. They say she plays guitar and cries and sings. La la la. Ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn, trying to find a woman who's never, never, never been born. Standing on the hill in the mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems.
Love that. Very nice. All right, there we go. Going to California. Great mandolin work. I'm not sure if it was by Jimmy or John Paul Jones, but love that mandolin work. And that mandolin was heard on another song earlier in the album. So, Battle of Evermore. So they like that mandolin sound. Led Zeppelin liked that sort of medieval instruments they added to their rock music. And this is no exception. You hear the mandolin. I don't have the recorder or the flute. That's used in a lot of songs. But nevertheless, Robert Plant's voice here is just so soothing and full of emotion and such depth. This guy can sing just about, he can sing anything. He's one of those guys that can sing anything. And whatever he sings, it just sounds great. So there we go, going to California. And clearly, this is a sort of a post-hippie, came in right at the end of the whole, flower power and that whole era of the end of the 1960s. And the song is about, I'm going to California where they wear flowers in their hair. And okay, there you go, folks. It's really a song about a particular period in American history, which was this period of 1967 through 1970. And you had the Woodstock concert, and you had the Summer of Love, and you have, Haight-Ashbury, and all this stuff, okay, was all in that little period there. And this song is really about someone who wants to be a part of that, and they're going to California to find that girl who has flowers in her hair. All right, the next song is completely different. This song is not about hippies. It's not about flowers in your hair. It's not about, I'm going to be free. No, this song is about tragedy. And it's about fear and about terror and hopelessness. And this is the song When the Levee Breaks. And it's actually a blues tune by Kansas Joe McCoy and Memphis Minnie. And these guys were some black Americans, African Americans, who wrote stuff from that southern area of the United States. And 1929 is when it came out. It was recorded. And it was about the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927, which was up until then the most destructive flood in American history. So this song is, it's powerful. It's my favorite song on the whole album. I love hearing it. And it has been sampled in numerous other pieces, including the Beastie Boys did it, Eminem did it. It was also used for the song, the movie The Big Short back in 2015. This is an incredible, incredible song, and everybody who hears it is always blown away by it and say this is their favorite song. Now, Zeppelin had a lot of other songs that are my favorites too, but this, if of the favorites, this one is it. John Bonham's drumming here is so powerful, and he doesn't fill it with a lot of extraneous stuff. He's dun 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 dun. I mean, he sets the tone with that drum, and you know this is going to be a cool song. This is going to be an emotional powerhouse of a song, and his drumming is just top notch on this. But then so is the guitar playing, and so is the singing. Just incredible stuff. So we're going to listen to When the Levee Breaks. And if you haven't heard this one, if you hadn't heard it, listen. This is incredible stuff. So here we go with When the Levee Breaks. Robert Plant on the harmonica. Great harmonica. Ooh. I'm going to pause it here. Do you feel the menace? This is a menacing song. That's the word I should have used earlier. Menacing. You can just tell something bad is happening or about to happen. And that's you get this soulful harmonica Robert Plant is playing, and that dook 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 dook. You know that when this song goes a little further, it's going to kick into something just really great. I mean, it's good now, but it's setting this menacing tone of something bad, really bad, is This Way Comes. And it's the flood, Mississippi flood of 1927. Here we go. Let's get back to it. Love this. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I love this. Love this harmonica. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Great lyrics. Levee Breaks, mama, you gotta move. Yeah, I love that harmonica. Wow. Bass drum triplets. Nice guitar there by Jimmy, really nice. That symbol. Oh, that's awesome. That's just awesome. Love that song. Love it. And there's so much good stuff there. Oh my gosh, folks. Just, I don't know where to start. You know, it's just so good. So good. Interesting fact here. This drum part, it's so good. Guess where they recorded it? They recorded it in a stairwell. And they put John Bonham's drum set at the bottom of a stairwell and recorded it. And that's how it gets that reverby sound and that unique sound that he got on this song. And this was a stairwell at this studio in England. And they anyway, they put the recording machine and the microphones at the top of the stairwell, and he was down at the bottom. And so it gives that very resonant drumming sound, but a little muffled to it, but just really, really awesome drum part. And man, what can you say about the harmonica? The harmonica is just absolutely just amazing. And there's obviously a lot of reverb in that to give that echoey sound, but it's really just incredible. And it's interesting, but back in the 70s, there was this sort of a movement against rock music, saying it's satanic and the devil music and everything else. And, you know, there wasn't that much. I mean, a lot of bands got accused of being Satanists and selling devil music. The Beatles did, and Led Zeppelin did, Black Sabbath did. Of course, they set themselves up for that a little bit, but they didn't really sing about the devil, and they weren't Satanists. Well, the same thing with this song. There's a lyric in the end of the song saying, I'm going to Chicago, sorry, but I can't take you. Well, the way it's recorded, it sounds like Satan can take you. Now, this is after the Democratic convention in Chicago where they had all those terrible riots. If you don't know about it, look it up. And people were killed, and it was just it was terrible, terrible. And we thought that maybe they were singing about going down to Chicago where the devil was going to cause chaos and havoc and everything else. But that's not it. Satan had nothing to do with it. This is an old song from 1929, and it's about getting out of Dodge because the levee's coming down. And I'm going to Chicago because I got no work here. I got no home here. I have to leave everything, and I'm going to go to Chicago. And a lot of people did go to Chicago and left and went north to get out of this horrible flood that occurred in 1927. So anyway, Satan is not in this song. They didn't sing about him. They didn't worship him. It's not there. But that was the way it sounded on the recording. Listen to it again. And if you listen to it, you can hear Satan will take you. Not there, folks. So you can relax. There's nothing satanic about this song. Nothing about the lyrics. It's just a fantastic song. And you get the feeling, you know, that this feeling of fear and the menace and then hopelessness. And it just really, really brings it home. And this is an example of what I said earlier in other reviews, that they would get music from other cultures and other eras and bring it forward to the present and redo it with guitar and keyboard and drums. And it just really, really works. They really did good by this song. And, you know, the guys that originally did it would be proud to hear what Zeppelin did for their music, because they brought it back to a whole new generation of Americans and people in England and Europe and all around the world heard this music for the first time. And so really they did a great thing by doing that, a really great thing by doing that. And anyway, one of my favorite songs of all Zeppelin, definitely the best one on this album as far as I'm concerned. I just can't talk about it enough. And John Bonham's drumming is just so good. I mentioned before about that cymbal. He didn't have a ton of cymbals, but he had this really big cymbal off to the right that he used as a ride cymbal and a crash. And when he hit that bass drum, bang! And that cymbal just, it would just cut through the song. It would just accentuate that thing. He wasn't a cymbal guy hitting cymbals all the time. When he did hit a cymbal, there was a purpose behind it, and there was a reason for it, and you remembered it because it was memorable. John Bonham's drumming was memorable drumming. He really carried that whole song on his back with that dun 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 dun. It has a little bit of a lilt to it, a little bit of a shuffle, but it's just driving, and he carries it through the whole song. Now, when they go into that sort of a sort of a bridge part where Jimmy's guitar comes in, da 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 da, bum 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 bum. He hits that ba bow on the cymbal after the band, the bass player and Jimmy are all playing together. That da 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 da. Then he comes in ba bow one more time, which just makes it even greater than it was before. All right, well, that's all I have for this album, folks. This is Led Zeppelin 4, I think one of Led Zeppelin's greatest album. Certainly has some of the greatest songs they ever wrote on this album, and had to do it because it's one of the top-selling albums of the 1970s, and I think Led Zeppelin's greatest album, or equal to some others, but certainly one of their best. And I'm so glad you joined me on this Magic Carpet ride through this album, the 1970s, of the great band Led Zeppelin. And we're going to be doing other Led Zeppelin albums. Believe me, we're not done with this band. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to be doing some other stuff with them, too, because they put out so much great music between late 60s and 1979, when they put out their last album. Well, thank you again. Once again, like and subscribe, and please comment down below if you have any suggestions or you. And also, I do polls. I want to let you know this. I do a poll whenever we're going to be doing new albums. So I give you, the subscriber, the viewer, to participate in these polls and help me know what album I should cover next. And right now we've got almost a tie between two albums, and we'll see what happens. By next week, we'll know exactly where we are and which one we're going to do. So jump into those polls, participate, leave comments behind, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I know you hear this a lot of times, but if you don't subscribe and you don't share it with other people, it hurts the channel. So please help the channel if you like what we're doing by doing that. Well, it's John from Rock My Bean and The Record Shelf. We're glad you spent your time with us today, and we look forward to having you back again next time.